he is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane, I am a tree.
Hi, my name is Dan Sims. I'm a senior at Naperville North, and this is my story.
I'm Caroline Rico. I'm a senior at Naperville North, and I'm here to tell you my story.
Before I met Christ, I could pretty much sum up everything in one word, and that was just empty.
I grew up in a Catholic household, and my family and I went to church every Sunday. My sisters and I were pretty involved in RE at our church. My mom was a teacher for RE.
I didn't really feel a personal connection to anyone or anything. That includes people like my family, my friends. I just didn't feel any kind of personal connection, because the only thing that I felt was essentially just like this selfishness, this thing that the entire world revolves around me.
As I grew up, I knew all the Bible passages. I knew the characters per se, and I just never really understood that there's something more than that, that there's Christ living through me every single day in my own life.
I wouldn't say a lot of things were really bothering me much until second grade, when my cousin Julie ended up passing away. Why is all this pain around me if we have such a loving God, and why did God take away the only thing that I had in my family that brought me happiness?
I started to just kind of fall into a ditch. I became really good friends with people I probably shouldn't have been really good friends with. I became obsessed with this idea that I needed to please everybody, and that that was the right thing to do.
So I started to completely cut myself away from anything that could have revolved around loving Christ or loving God. I was born a Catholic, but at that point I was I'm completely atheist.
I just realized I wasn't really getting anything out of those relationships. I wasn't there was no return on the other side of the phone, basically.
Even anytime that something minuscule would happen, anytime that something would bother me, I'd blame it on God, even though I didn't believe in Him. Essentially, I was lonely and done.
And I just felt weak, I was alone.
Love's like a hurricane, I am a tree.
I met Christ essentially through common goal was persistence. He kept coming up to me and telling me to go to this thing called Kennedy Crossroads at our junior high.
At the beginning of my sophomore year, one of my friends passed away. One of the girls on my soccer team reached out to me, and she said, "Hey, come to this great place, it'll be so much fun." And so she took me to Young Life for the first time. It was a good atmosphere to be in compared to where I was. I was like, okay, you know what, I'll give this a shot. I'll try to see what this is. Even though at the time I was still atheist, I was still skeptical about meeting Christ and trying to figure out things, especially with all the hurt that I was feeling, I guess, and the emptiness. At the end of my sophomore year, one of my friends actually signed me up for camp, basically. And I went into it with a pretty negative attitude. It sounded like a lot of fun. The upperclassmen made it sound like a lot of fun too. But it was never really my thing, summer camp, night camp, overnight camp. No, not my thing.
So Colin kept telling me to go, and I went essentially every single week. It was Wednesday mornings right before school. And we just hit it off. The community around there was amazing, and it was a lot of fun. This kid named Yi Chen was giving a Bible study at Colin's house, and it was essentially the same people from Crossroads, and he gave a message about salvation, and salvation was a huge concept for me.
I ended up going, and it transformed my life. There's no doubt about it. Everything that we did there was spontaneous, and it meant something, and everybody around me meant something, and they wanted it to mean something to me too.
And at the end of the lesson, he said, "Would you guys want to accept Christ as your personal Savior?" And that was something that struck me hard, and he told me that it was going to be a big commitment.
Somewhere between all the sing-along songs and hot, sick, nasty bus rides and Nights Under the Stars, Christ really reached out to me, and he gave me 15 of the best friends I could ever ask for.
I didn't really know what that meant until Colin kept coming up to me and saying, you got to find the answers to the Bible. You can't just sit there and say that you're a Christian and stuff. So I kept reading the Bible, and he told me that answers will come, and surely enough they did.
And I know that he put those people in my life for a reason. He put those in my life because they're my rock. They get me through everything.